Hi, everyone. Hopefully you're having a good day. My name's Andy. My channel is Finding Value. Today, we're going to do our daily technical analysis of gold and silver. We're going to jump right into it. Please do not use this as financial advice. It's just my opinion. And here we go. I'll let the charts do the talking. We got the dollar index up. Weak dollar today. We got some resistance and support through here. It broke through that support and closed lower. It was lower by quite a bit. And maybe we'll see the dollar pull on back here. Usually a weaker dollar is a tailwind to gold. And sometimes people view the 10-year yield going up, and I drew this little pattern in here. It's a pennant formation. We came back down and bought back up in terms of yields going up. So yields came down and then they came back up, or vice versa. Bonds got sold off because that yields are inverse of bonds. So we've got 0.9% up for the 10-year yield. It's in this pattern. I'm suspecting that this thing's going to perhaps do a pattern sideways and an eventual break to the upside. Looking at gold. Gold, we have a small update today, up about $5. We have a little wick at the top. We'll see where it goes tomorrow. Sometimes the wicks determine, like we're going to basically chop back and forth here like that before moving up, or something on the lines of that. Whenever you get a lot of wicks at the top, it means that there's resistance. And then eventually you have to break that resistance and work its way up. But I'm just going to draw this in here. I think we're going to do a little bit of sideways action before moving up. Kind of in a channel that's somewhere in this channel like that. Silver, again, we're getting that little wick at the top. We're coming into some selling pressure there. And, you know, it's just a small up day. The momentum is dissipating. I think we'll kind of go into like a kind of a sideways type pattern for a little bit before moving on up. That's just a guess, guys. It's just a guess. And we're getting, again, the selling pressure up here. That's why the wicks are all at the top here. It's trying to go and break to the upside, but there's sellers up there. So it went up and sold back off and came back down. It was up $4, but it doesn't look horrible. Everything looks okay. It's all just holding in a pattern. XAU to gold ratio, that's gold and silver mining in relationship to gold itself. I use this ratio to see if the miners are outperforming gold. We've got this pattern here. We got a little bit of support down here. We got a downtrend line. We got to see where this thing goes. I am still thinking that, you know, precious metals are good. They're good for the market conditions that are coming. Is there a gap between? So is there a gap between today and the real estate market and the inflation that comes from that? Because we had a bunch of stimulus come in. We've got probably a little gap between the stimulus money and then the money that's coming from real estate in terms of loans. There could be a gap between that, where it goes up, it comes down a little, which means it's disinflation from a high inflationary point, and then we'll move back on up. So that is what I don't know, but I'm going to remain long and strong in my companies and my physical metals. Looking at Carora Resources, we've got, this is a bullish engulfing here. Got a little wick at the top, so we popped higher. We're probably going to, I don't know. Whenever you get these wicks at the top, usually you get like a down day next to them. So I would guess that you get a next to it, a little down day, and then we move on up. But the short term, guys, I mean, this looks fine. When you take a long-term, big picture view of this stuff, I mean, it's been moving sideways, trying to break this top resistance line. That's what we're doing. And the lows are getting a little bit stronger. And that's what we're looking for. I mean, this guy looks kind of like a shoulder, head, and then is this another shoulder? There's not a clear neckline in it. I wouldn't say it's necessarily a shoulder, head, shoulder. But big picture view, I mean, this is a shoulder, head, shoulder there coming through. Just trying to look at the chart pattern. What I don't like is this, you know, you get a little bit more selling pressure than buying pressure on the right-hand side here. little bit more selling pressure than buying pressure. This kind of sell off through here. So I don't know if this pullback is completely done yet. In EXK, SILJ, it's going to look very similar to EXK. And what you can draw, you can kind of draw, yeah, there it is, the pattern down there. And this is going to have to get through this resistance line. So we had a big momentum breakthrough. We're coming back up. We're hitting some resistance, and we could roll back over. GDX, we're in the pattern, chopping sideways. And there's the big pattern right here. NGF, metallic minerals. This one is, we've got a ascending wedge. It's breaking to the downside, so we're getting a little bit of a sell-off there. Could see a little bit more downside in the short term. Koyo Resources, this guy's pulling on higher. This one looks really good. It's a bullish engulfing. We've broken the downtrend line, and this could potentially work its way higher. Discovery Silver, getting a little bit of buying pressure. Again, this is probably going to chop sideways out of this pattern. We have broken to the downside of it. AG, we're at the low point of where this support is at, and we're testing that support. Newmont, chopping, let me see here. Yeah, a little bit of an up day. 0.26%. Not much to really say there, guys. We're just kind of meandering sideways. Mag Silver, it's a high, a lower high, a lower high. We are stepping down. We are trying to find some buying pressure to get these lower highs out of here. AUY coming into a little bit of support here. I mean, resistance. Not support, resistance. And we're in a descending, falling wedge pattern. The highs are coming up, so it doesn't look bad. We just need to get the buyers to step in here and push it higher. Impact Silver at support, moving sideways. We've got Aftermath Silver just moving sideways. Arcana Gold getting sold off today. Well, no, it's up today. Honestly, guys, I don't like this setup. I don't see the buyers in here yet. I do not see the buyers in here pushing it higher yet. PLG just moving sideways at a resistance line. Sandstorm Gold chopping sideways. Just trying to see. So we got big buying pressure, small selling pressure. Big buying pressure, and then the sellers came in and whomped on it a little bit. So it's going to look. It looks like it's going to go sideways more. And all these do. They kind of just look like they want to go sideways. They're just drifting lower and sideways for the most part. EMX kind of flat today. We got stronger selling pressure, and the buying pressure tried to bounce, but it's contracting like it wants to roll back over. The opening and closing prices are getting closer and closer together. Tune Resources just bouncing sideways at the moment. Wheat and Precious Metals, yeah, it's up a little bit today, but it's mainly sideways in this big, gigantic pattern that's been... The lows are coming up a little bit. So I would say eventually this will break to the upside, would be my guess. Gold Royalty, GROY. Nice, good, strong buying pressure today. Bullish engulfing. I would suspect it to go higher. Metallo Royalty. This guy's in the tip of this pattern here. It's right at the tip, ready to break one way or the other. If we zoom in, it's a struggle, but we got good buying pressure in these 2 days here. Sellers are still there. They're battling back and forth. MMX, Mavericks Metals. Again, we got this big wick at the top. So we came on down. It tried to rally and still sold off some. So a little bit of a down day. Royal Gold moving up a little bit. It's right at that resistance line. It's trying to break to the upside. And then a Cisco Gold Royalty. We got a little bit of selling pressure over here, here, and here. And then the buying pressure has been a little bit weaker. So this could roll over a little bit and head a little bit lower. I'm kind of seeing a mixed bag here, guys. I mean, it's... Platinum had a really good run in the morning, but it sold off a little bit. So there's sellers out there. It's not just buyers coming in and buying this stuff up and pushing it higher. So there are sellers. People are selling it off throughout the day. The charts look kind of like they're just going to continue to go sideways. That's kind of what I see in the short term. Any buying pressure that we had a few weeks ago, it looks like it's been dissipated, and the sellers came in and sold it back off. So I'm going to say, sideways to lower on some of the mining companies and some of the royalty companies is what I'm seeing at this moment. Would I be buying more in it right now? I would probably wait if it were me. I would just hold on and wait. So that's kind of where my head's at. If you guys like the content, give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And thank you for listening. This is Finding Value.